anytime with Craig, he's going to laugh. So you got to get used to people whipping their heads around to see who's with that distinctive Craig Maier laugh.
He has the most enchanting smile and kind of a giggle.
He's an unbelievable cook. He was an art history major, which most people don't know. In college, he's got an encyclopedic knowledge of art and a great appreciation for art.
Major supporter of the zoo, and he and his wife and family are continued to be very big supporters of the zoo.
Craig Maier is known as a successful business leader and also as a successful community leader. He's chaired everything in town from A to Z, from the art museum to the zoo. What a lot of people might not know is Craig Maier was my boss when I was first director of the zoo. One day he took me aside and he said, "Thane, you're doing a good job. Everybody likes what's going on at the zoo, but you're not working hard enough. You need to have higher goals. I'm going to set those goals and you're going to achieve them. And if you do, everything will work out." And it's been working out ever since. So I've always appreciated his frankness and his leadership.
Craig is my older brother by 2 years. We worked together at Frisch's for many, many years. The Frisch family had restaurants in downtown Cincinnati, Frisch's Cafe, in as early as 1907. Samuel Frisch, Dave's father, operated those restaurants, and with his children, and of whom he had 10, with his wife Blanche, they operated restaurants. Well, in 1939, Dave opened the Mainliner in Fairfax, which is a suburb in eastern Cincinnati. What made that restaurant unique was it was the first drive-in restaurant in Cincinnati where there were more spaces for vehicles than there were seats for patrons inside the restaurants. That was the beginning of the Frisch's as it is today. When Craig was named president and CEO of Frisch's in 1989, the company had a number of different types of operations. We had Hardee's restaurants, which were previously Roy Rogers. We had Big Boys in Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana. We had bought the Kips franchise in Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. He also was responsible for bringing the Golden Corral buffets operations as a franchise into the company, which gave us the opportunity to have restaurants in northern Ohio and eastern Pennsylvania. The buffet business was very popular in the South, and the Golden Corrals were trying to move across the United States with their operations, and we were eventually a larger franchisee of theirs, having as many as 27 Golden Corral buffets.
Craig took it to the next level. He was always looking for what he could do next, what opportunity was next. The stores were immaculate, the food was consistently good, the quality was consistently high. Craig took a family business and made it extraordinarily better.
He pretty much knew all of his employees.
He would take off the jacket and tuck his tie into, his belt or whatever, and put on the apron and go to work at the grill.
I think highly unusual that a CEO knows employees from the executive vice president down to the dishwasher. Craig did. He was proud to work with them.
I think with Craig's background, both the military, with college, with graduate school, he was born to be in the restaurant business and to be a business leader. And he showed what's possible to have a big impact on this community.
He is very loyal, he's very caring, and he's very generous. Not just with his family, but with other people, those who worked for him, and those that maybe he doesn't know, but he sees that they have a need.
He gives us all. He is very honest, very transparent. I think most people would say, you may not want to hear it, but Greg's going to tell you exactly what he thinks. So he really is just known for being a hard-working, serious contributor that believes a great deal in giving back.
I've been blessed to call Craig my friend. When Craig is your friend, he's your friend. He is loyal, he's thoughtful, you would enjoy his company, and I've been a beneficiary of his friendship for many years. Deeply appreciative. Craig, congratulations on this award, this honor. No one deserves it more than you.
So, I've been retired for 9 years, and it's been 9 years since I've had a captive audience, and now I have you. Be afraid. So I thought, since it's a business meeting, I would do what I had done twice a year for the near 25 years I was CEO of Frisch's, which is when we had an all-manager meeting, we'd start with the core principles of how I thought I would run Frisch's, and I thought I would share them with you today. So, number one, run your business by the golden rule, or its corollary, If it's good enough for me, it's good enough for you. So many people, as you know, run businesses and set their pay and benefits at the industry standard. Usually that means that upper-level managers have one level of benefits, and those benefits decline or disappear as you go down the chain of command. Not at Frisch's. If the medical plan was good enough for me, it was good enough for everybody from me down to the dishwasher. We all paid the same amount of money for the same kind of benefits, something very rare in the restaurant business. I wanted a pension plan. I'm retired. I need the money. Everybody else wanted a pension, so everybody else should have a pension plan as well. And so for a long time, we had a defined benefit plan for all employees in the company until the government made that impossible. So then we switched to a 401k, and I had a kicker. Everybody had the exact same one. And so on, because at the end of the day, how you treat your employees is how they treat your customers. And that's really important when you don't take care of the customers. I never waited on people. I didn't really ever see customers. And I needed to make sure that my employees who did take care of the customers treated them fairly and correctly. And the only way that happens is if you treat them fairly, they will treat your customers fairly. Core number 2, no sexual harassment. We employed a lot of younger people with raging hormones. And for some time, we actually had rooms in the hotels where we had, and people who had keys to every empty room in the hotel. Oh, that's an accident waiting to happen if there ever was one. And so someone needed to be very clear that sexual harassment was not acceptable. And so long before Me Too era, we said, if you do this, we'll fire you. Now, fortunately, cameras made it a lot easier to solve that problem. Because when you had a camera in the restaurant and this guy was hitting on a young lady, and the lady complained, it didn't take very long to figure out that, yes, he was. And then we'd call the lawyers, and the lawyer would say, I'll defend you on this, and then we'd fire him. It usually took about 24 hours. I'm reminded recently, because we have a gentleman coach at Michigan State who hired a woman who was a rape survivor to talk to his players about sexual harassment and all of that stuff. So then he calls her up and diddles with himself while he's on the phone with her. And they spent 9 months and 2,100 pages of testimony before they finally got around to firing his ass. It wouldn't happen at Frisch's. He'd have been gone the next day. Because, you know, if you just say it out loud, it doesn't take very much time to figure out that it's not the right thing to do and that perhaps those sort of people shouldn't be working for you. They really should be working for your competitor. We hope they did. And item number 3, no discrimination of any kind, whether based on race, religion, sex, or any other thing you might think of. There isn't hardly anybody in this room who hasn't been discriminated themselves or knows someone very closely who has been discriminated against. My mom and the Frisch family were Jewish. I don't even need to tell you that anti-Semitism is probably the oldest form of discrimination that there was. And so you say, well, if it's not right for someone to do that to us, is it right for us to do it to someone else? So we're back at the golden rule again. Do unto others as you would not have them do unto you. And so if you did that, we would fire you. It's not that hard. We didn't think it was that hard, and so there we go. That's the reason why actually most of our managers were female, and the best managers were women, because finally they got to work somewhere where their work was recognized for what it was. So we are very pleased about doing that. So if you do all those things, run your business by the golden rule, no sexual harassment, no discrimination, you'll run a successful company. Nope. I'd like to be able to tell you that that's the road to success, but it's not. Especially in the restaurant business, you need the right model, the right time, and the right place. And sometimes you win, and sometimes you lose. I tell people, you put a $2 million restaurant somewhere, you open the doors. Actually, you don't even need to open the doors. You just wait for the applications to come in. If you get a lot of applications, you're going to have a successful business. If you don't, it's like burning money. And so we were successful at Frisch's for many years. We were really pleased at what we did. And ultimately, I think the most important thing is to be able to look at yourself in the mirror every day and say, I think I ran a good business. And I think we did. So there are a lot of people from Frisch's here tonight. I didn't do it alone. I didn't wait on a customer. They did. And I think we ran a great business, and we are very proud to do so. So in 2006, my father and my grandfather were posthumously recognized with this award. I'm pleased to join them in this group. Thank you.